As we're in the week leading up to 3.7, today I'm here with the full Hyacine guide. Hyacine is one of the characters that will be rerunning in the 3.7 update, and so today I'm taking you over her kit and eidolons, best Lightcone options, best relic sets, best ornaments, and some team building ideas. I'll have a full guide on every single character that is new or rerunning in the 3.7 update. I already have one for Cyrene and you are now watching Hyacine. Soon there will be one for Castris, Tribi, Binon, Cypher, and Mide. Click on my link in the description right now to join me for a journey in Raid Shadow Legends. It supports my channel a lot and gives you a legendary start in the game with Elenaro, as well as 3 awesome epic champs. Don't waste any time and click on the link right away. I appreciate you guys. Hyacine is a Win Remembrance character. Her basic attack deals wind damage based off her max HP to a designated enemy. Her skill summons her Memo Sprite Little Ika and will restore HP equal to 8% of her max HP plus 160 for all allies except Ika, and restores HP equal to 10% of Hyacine's max HP plus 200 for Little Ika. Her ultimate will restore HP equal to 10% of Hyacine's max HP plus 200 for all allies except Ika, and 12% of Hyacine's max HP plus 240 for Ika. Hyacine will then enter the After Rain state, which will last for 3 turns and decreases by 1 at the start of her every turn. While After Rain is active, all allies will gain a max HP increase of 30% plus 600. Her talent, Memo Sprite Ika, has initially a max HP equal to 50% of Hyacine's max HP. Anytime Ika or Hyacine provides healing, Ika's damage dealt will increase by 80% for 2 turns that will stack up to 3 times. Her technique, when the next battle starts, restores HP by an amount equal to 30% of Hyacine's max HP plus 600 for all allies, and increases max HP by 20% for 2 turns. Now for the Memo Sprite skills. Deals wind damage to all enemies by an amount equal to 20% of tally of healing done by Hyacine and Little Ika in the current battle, and will clear 50% of the tally of healing. For the restore, Little Ika maintains 0 speed, is immune to debuffs, and will not appear on the action order bar. If the HP of an ally target except Ika is reduced, then at the start of any target's turn, or after any target takes action, Ika will consume 4% of their own max HP and heal the ally target with the reduced HP for an amount equal to 2% of Hyacine's max HP plus 20. While Hyacine is in the After Rain state, Little Ika gains an extra turn and automatically will cast Rain Cloud's Time to Go, immediately after Hyacine uses an ability, which is the attack that I mentioned right before this. Moreover, when Little Ika triggers the talent's healing effect, it will additionally restore HP for all ally targets by an amount equal to 2% of Hyacine's max HP plus 20. After Little Ika uses an ability, the duration of all their continuous effects will decrease by 1. And for the 2 unique enhances, when summoned, regenerates 15 energy for Hyacine, and on the first summon, additionally regenerates 30 energy, and upon disappearing, advances the action of Hyacine by 30%. For bonus traces, her A2 will increase Hyacine and Ika's crit rate by 100%, when providing healing to an ally target whose HP is currently equal to or less than 50% of their max HP, increases Hyacine and Ika's outgoing healing by 25%. Her A4 increases Hyacine's effect res by 50% when using skill and ultimate, dispels 1 debuff from all ally targets, and her A6, when Hyacine's speed exceeds 200, increases her and Little Ika's max HP by 20%. Then for every 1x speed, it will increase Hyacine's and Little Ika's outgoing healing by 1%, up to a maximum of 200x speed can be taken into account. And then for her eidolons, her E1, while Hyacine is in the After Rain state, all ally targets additionally increase their max HP by 50%. After using an attack, immediately restore their HP by an amount equal to 8% of Hyacine's max HP. For E2, when an ally target's HP decreases, speed increases by 30% for 2 turns. For E4, the Tempestuous Halt trace gets enhanced. For every 1x speed, additionally increases Hyacine and Ika's crit damage by 2%. And her E6, when Little Ika uses Memo Sprite skill, the amount cleared from the tally of healing is changed to 12%. While Ika is on the field, all ally targets all-type res pen increases by 20%. For Lightcones, unfortunately there still isn't too many options you can use, and of course, far and none her best one is still her signature Lightcone, which does provide the wearer a 18% increase to speed. When the wearer uses basic attack, skill, or ultimate, consumes all allies' HP equal to 1% of their current HP, and after the next attack of the wearer's Memo Sprite, enables it to additionally deal 1 instance of additional damage equal to 250% of the total consumed HP to the attack target, with the damage type based on the Memo Sprite's type. Then the total HP consumed is reset. When the wearer's Memo Sprite uses Memo Sprite skill, increases the damage taken by all enemies by 18%, lasting for 2 turns, and the effects of same types cannot stack. So this Lightcone is absolutely godly for every single reason you can think of. It's great for Hyacine herself because it is providing a good 18% increase in speed, and Hyacine has one of the fastest base speeds in game. And if you don't know, speed percentage buffs are calculated based off the character's base speed. So you actually get a relatively big increase from this 18%, which will further help you get to that 200 speed threshold you do want to hit. On top of that, it gives you a form of HP drain, which you'll be able to heal right back anyways. And this is fantastic on our best teams being something like Castrus or Evernight, because their HP going down can either give Evernight more Memoria points or Castrus a bunch of more New Blood points. And for someone like Blade, it can give him a charge, and then for everyone else, it's not really going to do anything, but it's still going to further amplify the damage that Little Eco would be doing in that instance. So you use skill, you drain everyone's HP, and then Eco would go, and boom, 250% additional damage equal to the total consumed HP would proc, which is a big damage increase, especially on HP teams. To top it all off, it has 18% vulnerability for anyone on your team to do more damage to enemies. So it makes enemies take more damage, it makes Hyacine do a lot more damage, and also provides an HP drain depending on the team you are running on, will make it really good, and also makes her easier to build. So that's why far and none it is her best slot. The next option would be to run the Herder Shop Lightcone, which does provide a 6% increase to the wearer's speed, and after the wearer uses skill, increases damage dealt by all allies by 8% for 3 turns. And at S5, it is a 12% increase to speed and a 16% increase to damage dealt for your team. It is less than the signature even at S5, but 12% is still nice, which will again help you get closer to that 200 speed threshold. And now you are able to give everyone on your team practically a permanent 16% increase to damage dealt throughout the battle, since you do use skill very frequently on Hyacine. So it's practically with permanent uptime. Very simple, not much to say with this, it's just really good on her because it does everything she would want to do. The only other option you can use is the story's next page, which does increase the wearer's max HP by 16%. After the wearer's Memo Sprite attacks, the outgoing healing of the wearer and the Memo Sprite increases by 12% for 1 turn. And at S5, it is a 32% increase to the wearer's max HP and a 24% increase to outgoing healing. So it does also increase her damage by a little bit, as it is increasing max HP and she is an HP scaler, so that's how you would be doing damage. And you would also practically have a permanent increase to your outgoing healing by 24%, so she can just sustain your team even better. This is only the option you would use if the Herder Shop Lightcone is taken up and you don't have her signature. This would only be the other option you would use in that case. It's not going to be as good as the other two, of course, but it is still very much a usable option. There is an upcoming option for Hyacine, which is Cyrene's Lightcone. She can't fully utilize it, but it does have a speed buff that is equivalent to her signature, and she is at least able to use the Memo Sprite skill to give everyone crit damage, as Ika does attack but isn't actually used on anyone, so she can't get blank and verse, but she can get verse to give everyone 16% crit damage. It's not something I would recommend though, because of course Cyrene is going to rerun with Hyacine, so in that case you would just pull Hyacine Sig, but I'm just mentioning that it is a usable option. Now for relic sets, there's only really one you want to use, and that is of course the Warrior Goddess set, which the 2-piece provides 6% increase to speed for the wearer, and the 4-piece when the wearer or their Memo Sprite provides healing to allied targets other than themselves. The wearer gains Gentle Rain, which will last for 2 turns and can trigger once per turn. While the wearer has Gentle Rain, speed increases by 6% and all allies crit damage increases by 15% and cannot stack. 6% speed, again, going to be really good to help you get closer to 200 plus speed. And the 4-piece is something you will permanently have up, so it becomes a free permanent extra 6% speed, so it becomes the equivalent to running 2-piece speed and 2-piece speed, but on top of that, you give everyone 15% crit damage, as she is able to, again, permanently activate the effect as she heals everyone on the team and not just herself. So it is fantastic for her herself with the 12% up to speed increase you do get, and also it is great for your team with the 15% crit damage increase, and also herself, because the 15% crit damage does apply to her. So overall, it is far and none her best in slot. You can actually use the World Remaking Deliverer set. The 2-piece is useless as you have 100% crit rate with her A2 permanently. 4-piece after the wearer uses basic attack or a skill, if the wearer's Memo Sprite is on the field, increases max HP of the wearer and their Memo Sprite by 24%, and increases all allies damage by 15%, lasting until the wearer's next use of basic attack or skill. So the 4-piece is going to practically give you a permanent 24% increase to max HP, assuming Ika doesn't get one-shot in some way, shape, or form and is not active at the time. And you can also get 15% damage for your team. This is not actually better than the Goddess set, as the Goddess set provides you 12% speed and also 15% crit damage, which very much does overweigh what the World Remaking Deliverer set gives. But if you happen to just have good Remaking Deliverer pieces, you can run it until you get a Warrior Goddess set. Past that, it is going to be running 2-piece, so the best thing you can do is 2-piece speed, so 2-piece Warrior Goddess, Relieved Ordeal, or Hackerspace. Only thing after that would be 2-piece of one of the speed sets and 2-piece Longevous for the 12% max HP. For Planar Ornaments, her best in slot is the Giant Trees set, which does provide the wearer a 6% increase to speed. When the wearer's speed is 135/180 or higher, the wearer and their member sprite's outgoing healing increases by 12%/20%. The extra 6% speed is, once again, going to make it easier to reach 200 plus speed. And with the 200 plus speed byproduct, you're going to have the full effect of the last part of this actual ornament, which is 180 speed to get the full 20% increase to outgoing healing. So it becomes a free 20% increase to outgoing healing, which is going to, of course, be great for sustaining your team, but also her damage, because Ika's damage also comes off the tally done. So the more healing you do, the more damage you can do as well, which is why overall it is her best in slot. If you're not running that or you're working towards it, you can actually slap on a supportive set on her depending on who you are running her with. If you're running her on a character that's going to be mainly doing damage and skills off attack, then you can use Lushaka for 5% energy regen rate and 12% attack for the character positioned first in the team lineup. 5% energy regen rate is going to be good for Hyacine herself, and then 12% attack for the character that's going to be damaged, so you position them first and boom, more damage. If you're running her alongside someone like Blade or Anaxa, you can use Penacony, which also does provide 5% energy regen rate and 10% damage for all other allies that are the same type as the wearer, so they have to be wind in this case. So the most common cases would be Blade, and then you can also run her alongside Anaxa. In those cases, you can use the Penacony set. Heal also does work for 10% effect res, and reaching 30% effect res on Hyacine herself will give everyone 10% crit damage. Not really a big requirement because her A4 gives her 50% increase to effect res anyway, so you get 10% crit damage for everyone for practically forever. Unfortunately, a little more outdated set, but still does work. And then Azus also does work, 12% max HP and 8% attack for everyone, as 120 speed is the only requirement, which there's quite literally no way to have lower than that speed, so it just becomes free 8% attack for everyone. Unfortunately, Hyacine doesn't benefit from that because she scales off HP, but that's where she gets the max HP increase. So make sure you are putting her on an attack scaling team if you want to benefit from this. But overall, I 100% recommend just running the Giant Tree set overall. For the main stats on the relics, for the body, you want to run outgoing healing. For the feet, you want speed. For the orb, you want HP percent. And for the link rope, you want energy regen rate. For the substats, you want to prioritize speed to get the 200 to activate her trace, where she gets a 20% increase to max HP for both her and Ika. That is going to be your utmost priority, plus reaching 200 speed will allow you to get 3 turns within the first cycle in MLC. And you can very much go over 200 speed, it's not the requirement, you just want to get to 200 speed minimum. Anything above that is still great as you get more outgoing healing, but 200 speed is going to be your bare minimum. If you are running Warrior Goddess, be sure to account for the 6% speed you get after the first skill usage, because the 6% skill you get from the Gentle Rain buff is only going to apply once you obviously go into battle and provide the healing to get the effect. So if you're at something like 195 speed, when you go into battle, you're going to use that and you're going to get the 6% speed buff, which will take you over 200 and make you have enough speed, so you can account for that. Past that, you want to focus on mainly HP percent and crit damage. You can get some effect res, but HP percent and crit damage would be better. Getting your HP to be around 4,500 is great. If you can get it above 5,000, that is ideal. And then for crit damage, you practically just focus on as much as you can. Around 100% is fine on its own. Once again, 200 speed is your bare minimum. Anything above that is also very, very good. Then you can focus on HP percent. Around 4,500 to 5,000 will be great. Crit damage, just around 100% would be good, and then past that, you can get as much effect res as you want. Now for some general team building ideas, I don't have Hyacine currently on my account, so pretend Danheng here is Hyacine. Why Danheng? Don't worry about it. So the best team she is going to work with is the Castress team. Castress is the biggest unit to benefit from Hyacine as a character overall. So the best team for Castress would be Hyacine, Castress, Evernight, if I can find her, that is, there she is, Evernight, and then last thought would go to Tribi in this team especially. And then of course you would sub out for what you want accordingly. So if you don't have Evernight, you can throw on RMC. If you don't have Tribi and you have Evernight, you can throw on RMC there as well. Or even someone like Ruan Mei for an AoE buffer as dual DPS teams. Technically trio DPS teams because Hyacine is a DPS on her own, while also sustaining use. So the AoE buffers get bigger value for buffing multiple people rather than just a single character like RMC. as not only someone like Evernight or not only someone like Cassius would be dealing damage, it's going to be all three of them. So this would be the best team, just sub out accordingly. And as Hyacine is as a sustain, you could really use her anywhere. You could just throw her on a team that you want to run her on. Only thing you want to know is if you're using her with someone like Anaxa plus Sarija, so like the Anaxa Sarija team, be sure to account for skill points, as Hyacine does want to use skill as much as possible. You don't have to, but you do want to use it as much as possible. It can be a bit annoying on these kind of teams, but that's all you want to account for. Again, there's not really much team building outside of the Caster's team. That's just her best team. You really can use her anywhere as she is a sustain. And that is the full Hyacine guide, taking you over everything you do need to know in order to properly build her. I do hope you found this video helpful. If you did, dropping a like would be greatly appreciated. If you're new to the channel or haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and to the bell icon for future videos like this, along with all the types of starrail content. Remember to check the description to click on the Raid Shadow Legends link to support the channel. Again, it is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you later. Peace out.